Hello there, crafters. It's Jackie Ballhays from Stampers. I am so excited to share projects with you today using the Encircled with Love stamp set. These projects are perfect for those of you that want quick and easy cards, or if you're a new card maker, this is a great set to get started. And I'm going to show you 4 different designs that you can mix and match. They're all easy, and I have lots of tips for you. So if you're ready to make your very first cards and you've never stamped before, make sure to follow along because we are going to start from the beginning. We're going to make our card bases, share tips on 4 different layouts, and you're going to be off and crafting soon. So let's flip the camera around and let's get started. So here's a peek at the stamp set again, Encircled with Love, and it is designed to work with the 1 7/8 circle punch. Now, when I filmed this video, that punch wasn't available, so I used my 2-inch punch and it worked fine. So whether you have 1 7/8 or 2-inch, it's all the same. So you can use any of them. And I like that we've got a lot of versatility here, and we're going to make 4 different cards. Each one has a little different layout, and the fun part is you could mix and match them. So it'll give you endless ideas using this stamp set. Now, we're going to start at the beginning. First thing we need is a card base. I like to use basic white. Some people like the thick. I don't know. I just generally go with the regular because by the time I put a couple layers on it, I think it gets thick enough on its own. Now, when you're making a lot of cards, and we're going to make 4 at one time here, you can make your card bases by scoring once, cutting once, and having 2 of them. So just a little tip we're going to share. So we're going to start out and we are going to score here at 4 1/4. Okay, give it a score. It's going to make your card fold a whole lot easier. Then we're going to turn it around and we will cut at 5. And voila, we've got 2 card bases. So let's grab our other one. So we're making 4 cards, right? So make sure you use the right blade. Score at 4 1/4. Flip it around, and we're going to do 5 1/2. And there's our card bases. Now, before we put the trimmer away, all 4 of my cards really kind of start out with the same measurements. We're going to have some designer series paper, which I'll bring in a second, and each one will be layered, the designer series paper, with a piece of basic black. Now, this basic black is going to be 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Is that right? Yep, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to cut 4 of those right away. So we're ready to create. So there's my 5, and on this cutter, 2 little tick marks is 1/8. So we're going to go 5, move it over right there to the 1/8, and we'll cut. And then 3 7/8, so there's 3/4 plus 2 more little marks. And there's 3 7/8. And 3 7/8. So there's those, and I pre-cut a couple other ones. So we've got all of those ready to make our cards. So let's go ahead and get the trimmer out of the way. Actually, we need to keep the trimmer for the first card. So let's go ahead. We're going to take 1 card base, 1 of our basic blacks. Now for this one, and I'm going to actually show you the card, then it'll make more sense. So for all of these cards, we are using the designer series paper that goes with a color group. Okay, so here is pumpkin pie. On this one, I use melon mambo. So the whole idea here is you could mix and match and use any of the colors with any of the designs. And then I just use the coordinating color of ink pad. And the reason I'm using a different color than my sample that I made is because I used up all that paper. So for this, because we're using both sides, okay, I like to, use that coordinating part like that. We're going to go ahead. This paper is 6 by 6. First thing we're going to do is cut it down to 5, okay? And you'll see, so this is an extra piece, and then we can go ahead and we're gonna turn it this way, and I need my piece to be 3 3/4. So ultimately, we have 3 3/4 by 5, which is the size I needed for those basic blacks that I cut. So all 4 of the cards are gonna use the same size, 3 3/4 by 5. And then for this one, because we're adding in this extra little piece here, this is going to actually be 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. And that's the one we're going to use on the back side. So now I think we can put the trimmer away. Let's see about that. Okay, I have a couple extra pieces of basic black here. Now you'll have all these measurements, okay? So we're gonna just go ahead and stick that right there. And we're layering it on there. We're gonna take one of those card bases that we made. Now, once you've scored, you have, I like to call it the bumpy and then the indent. You want that bumpy to go onto the inside, which really, it took me a long time to remember that because it always seemed backwards to me. But that's what'll give you the nicest fold without it cracking on you. So then let's go ahead and we'll use our adhesive. We're gonna stick this one down, just like so, okay? And then I have cut another piece of basic black. Now I will have all the measurements for these cards over on the corresponding blog post. Just click on the link down in the video description and you'll be able to find that. And then you can grab all the measurements, all the colors, all the stuff so you can copy these. Now we're gonna just go ahead and stick this one right there. Okay, and then I cut, let's see, there's one, oh, I got another one here. I cut 2 strips of black, and these are going to just go on my card like so. Now, you're gonna notice I use black with all different colors. And this is the Bold Brights color group for the paper. Okay, it comes in a color collection. I love black as a layering color for a couple of reasons. One, you'll notice I don't have any colored cardstock other than black. So I can get myself a pack of white, a pack of black, and some designer series paper, and I can just create a way. And black always looks really good with any color. So in this case, we've got those brights. So any color I pick, like we said, we started here with Melon Mambo. Any color I pick, that black is going to layer and coordinate really nice. So we've got that much going and it's time to stamp. So let's grab our pumpkin pie. Okay, all of these, we're using the same color that we used for, with our designer series paper with our stamping. So we're gonna go ahead, grab our stamp. We're gonna stamp down along the edge because when you're punching out images, you always wanna stamp, flip your punch upside down. You can easily line it up on there and punch it out. So there is our image. And then of course, we gotta use Stampin' Dimensionals. I use these on almost every single project I make. It's just that little bit of lift on an image and gives it some dimension. It makes your card super cute. And then we're gonna just go ahead and stick that right there like so. So you can see no matter what color, I could pull any color out of that pack. And then we're gonna grab our take your pick tool. And at one end here is the sticky putty, and it works really good for picking up embellishments. And again, I'm using just basic rhinestones. You know, you can get all different kinds of shapes and colors and stuff. I tend to use rhinestones mostly, simply because it works with everything. Remember, black works with everything, white works with everything, rhinestones. So I don't need a ton of supplies to make these cards I'm making. So there is our first layout. Now let's move on to our next one. So again, we're gonna put the bumpy side in. We're gonna go ahead and use our bone folder on there. And let's grab our next set here. This is the card we're gonna make. And once again, I'm using a different color designer series paper to make it, simply because I ran out of the other one because I've been using it. I love, love, love this year's designer series paper in those color collections. And you can get it for every single color group, including the in colors. But it's just got that great contrast from one side to the other. And there's 2 different types. So you actually have 4 different prints. And we'll see the other prints here in a second. So again, same measurements for that designer series paper, basic black, there we go. And then for this one, we just cut a couple really thin strips. These are 1/4 inch, okay, by 5. And, you know, I could pop that circle right on there, but I really think by just adding this little pop of black, it really adds a lot to your card. And you know, the main thing is, I think, or I hope that you're seeing, these are super simple layouts, but they make beautiful cards. And you could mix and match. Like I could put that birthday wishes one on this one. But I'm trying to use, several different stamps to show you. So for this one, we got Flirty Flamingo is our paper color. So let's grab our Flirty Flamingo ink. And we're going to ink that up. Let's make sure. I am a scrap paper stamper, I like to say. Almost every single time I stamp on my scrap paper first. And to me, that gives me the confidence that, yep, it inked well. My ink pad is not too juicy or not too dry. It's going to stamp good. So this grid paper gets used a lot around my house. Okay, once again, let's bring in our dimensionals here. We'll stick those on the back. And we're going to just pop this one down there. Now this, with love, this could make graduation, anniversary, wedding, whatever. It could even make a baby shower card. So this stamp set I love because we can use it for just about any occasion. And once again, let's just grab some rhinestones. I always do things in 3, and I try to do it in somewhat of a triangular shape. And that just adds that little bit of touch to this card. So there is our second layout. Okay, remember all of these are starting out pretty much the same. So let's go to number 3. And then for this one, let's grab our piece of black and our stamps. So here is the one we're using this time. Now I did have enough of this paper left. I must not have made other cards with it. But now you can see the other print. One side has the leaves, which we'll use on our 4th card. And then this has kind of a watercolory wash stripe, we'll call it. Again, we are 3 3/4 by 5. Put it on that piece of basic black that we already cut. Okay, and we can stick it onto our card base. Okay, liquid adhesive is my favorite adhesive. That's what I use for almost everything. But if you notice, I don't put too much on. I think people have a love-hate relationship. You either love it or you hate it. And those that hate it, I have found, hate it because they put too much on it. Okay, it does not take a lot. I'm hoping, is this Poppy Parade? Now I'm starting to doubt myself in my color. So let's double check here. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Poppy Parade. Once again, scrap paper. It's what I do. It's just been my habit for 30 years, I guess. So you're on my mind and in my heart. Again, grab our punch. I'm using 2-inch. If you have 1 7/8, that'll work great as well. Now for this one, I did punch out an additional circle, okay, out of that basic black. So we're gonna, just to kind of pop this up over something, because remember those other ones we used the strips. Okay, this time, let's see, where'd my dimensionals go? I got stuff flying everywhere over here. My table's a mess if you really saw it. So let's see, we're gonna go ahead and we will stick that. Just offset it from that circle a little bit. That'll make it like pop up and really show. And then we'll bring in our little rhinestones again. And I think this time I used all the little ones and I stuck them right on top of those little bursts, stars, whatever we want to call them. And there we go. There is our 4th card. Now we have one more, so let's make that one. Here is the card. For this one, I used Old Olive for my sample, but we're going to use Azure Afternoon. Again, I didn't have more Old Olive, but I kind of like that it ended up that way so that I can show you that these packs of colors, when there's 10 colors in there, you really can use any color with any stamp, and then any stamp with any of these 4 layouts. So let's just stick that like so. And for this one, we have some 1/2-inch strips. I don't know if we use this size on the other ones or not. 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And we're going to go kind of down towards the bottom. Okay. Now this, I decided to use the thank you stamp with this with this paper because of the, Okay, see how that's sliding around? That's actually why I like, oh, that one's crooked, isn't it? Okay, let's peel these off. This is why I like the liquid adhesive. You can move it around, you can slide it, you can peel it up a little bit until it is dry. Gives you a little flexibility with moving things around. So there's that, and then we're gonna add that onto our card base. Okay, so let's get that going here. Stick that on here. Now, for this thank you stamp, okay, there's 2 stamps, I think, in the stamp set that are super bold, is what I call them. So let's grab with this one. And you will notice when you ink these up, you've got a lot of surface to ink up. Again, I always test them first, and this one is working really, really good. But these kind of stamps will let you know whether you need more ink or less ink on your pad. Now, if I was to stamp it, and it's stamping good, actually, let's grab our scrap paper here. So you'll see what I'm gonna try to show you. If when you stamp it, it seems too inky, and actually it kind of does. If you look really close on there, you'll see it's a little dotted, okay? It's not super crisp. That could be because your pad's too inky. So when that's the case, I like to take a spoon, and I just take the back of the spoon, and I brush that ink off to the side. Let's see, I don't have a chamois to clean my stamp. We'll just clean it like that. And now, when I ink it, it should stamp a little bit clearer, okay? You can see it makes it a little bit lighter, but sometimes if those pads are just too juicy, go ahead and do that. And it's kind of I call it my spoon trick. So let's pop that one off. And then again, we're going to use dimensionals on the back, and we will have 4 completed cards. So let's pop these all off. Ooh, they're sticking to me. And let's see, how did I do this one? We're gonna just stick that right down like so. And what I did is, again, I used all the small size, and there's like 3 little dots up here on our circle. And so what I did is I followed that, and I put the 3 rhinestones there. So there you go. There is a layout. There is a layout. 3rd one and the 4th one. So 4 different ways to use the stamp set. Mix and match them, mix and match your colors, and it's some quick and easy cards. So I hope you enjoyed these projects. More importantly, I hope you try them. But probably the most important thing, when you make cards, make sure you send them. Pop them in the mail, make happy mail. Make someone's day by blessing them with a handmade card in their mailbox. So thanks for watching. Have fun stamping, and I look forward to sharing more ideas with you in the future.